Now, I think people are actually more upset about the change to orcs than they are to the change to
Really? Go on.
because orcs are one of the standard, they're born evil so I can kill them races. And if orcs aren't evil, well, this comes to the problem of if you raid an orc encampment and you find orc babies, what do?
Oh,
Which is a perennial gamer problem.
yeah. See, okay, so I'll just say it straight up for the audience. I am not a murder hobo, and I don't like playing at tables with murder hobos. I will always try and find the peaceful solution where everyone lives in any role-playing encounter. Even if I'm hired to go and wipe people out, I will try and find the solution where that doesn't have to happen.
There is an adventure module that I am not going to name the name of that was recently reprinted for 5th edition, which I am really looking forward to running for Claire.
Why is that?
Because it has a twist in it that won't be a twist for you.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm intrigued, but I won't ask for any more because I don't want spoilers.
It's in the Ghosts of Saltmarsh anthology. If you know the book, you'll know the adventure that I'm talking about.
That's a deep cut, James. For the real heads out there. If you know, you know.
So, orcs. For a lot of people, the idea that they are savage, tribal, and evil is an inimicable part of their character. And so, saying that orcs might not behave like that, I've seen people saying, doesn't that make them not be orcs anymore?
Okay, go on.
And I don't agree with that.
Tell me more.
So I've got a couple of reasons why. I think that a lot of people draw their ideas of what orcs are from a couple of places.
Not from the way back mythology,
Not
Italian
from the way back mythology, which is what
mythology.
I'm going with for my home game. I haven't had any orcs show up yet, but they are basically zombies. I think the biggest sources that people have for orcs are not Tolkien so much anymore.
Oh, really?
Though it's worth saying, in Tolkien, of course, Tolkien's orcs are monstrous, bordering on demonic.
Yeah.
And irredeemably evil and despicable, and also very unfortunately racially stereotyped, as he described them as mongoloid. Problematic. Anyway.
That's one of the few things that really does deserve that word with a capital P.
Anyway, Professor Tolkien felt that was problematic too.
Yeah.
Professor Tolkien, of course, the official explanation for what an orc is from the Silmarillion, which says that they are elves or possibly men who were tortured into a new life form that is irrevocably evil as a result of what's been done to them. But Tolkien himself wasn't happy with that as an explanation.
Fair enough. I wouldn't be either.
At the end of his life, he, being a perfectionist who could never actually make up his mind about anything, was still arguing about whether they were actually literally demons, or whether they were tortured elves or humans, or whether they were animals that were just really good at faking sentience. And if you take a couple of the quotes in The Hobbit, he even implies at one point that orcs might have turned into humans in the future, which I've always wanted to do a role-playing game about.
Yeah.
He implies that goblins might be responsible for building the sorts of weapons that were so horrible in the 20th century.
Huh.
But the point is that Tolkien himself wasn't happy with the idea. He particularly wasn't happy with the idea of evil being able to create and the theological implications of that.
Right.
But Tolkien wasn't happy with the idea that all orcs are irredeemably monstrous and just there to be slaughtered. In fact, actually, in a lot of places he describes being an orc as more a state of mind than an actual physical thing in his letters. The other places that I think people draw their orcs from are from Warcraft and Warhammer.
Yeah.
Now,
I thought you'd say that.
Warcraft was, of course, an IP that got created when Blizzard Entertainment couldn't get the rights to make a Warhammer game.
Ah.
And so they made their own game using Warhammer-style orcs, but that sort of evolved in their own way.
Right.
And I think the Warcraft orcs, which at this point are really the protagonists of the Warcraft franchise, orcs there definitely have a wide range of alignments and belief systems, and you have good orcs, you have evil orcs, you have
orc babies.
Orc babies.
Which I don't think Tolkien...
Who grew up to become Orc Jesus.
I don't think
also
Tolkien
Orc
had
Superman.
breeding orcs, right?
He never talked about it. But, yes, if your line of inspiration for orcs is Warcraft, then the idea that orcs can be whatever alignment you want, Warcraft already has orcs with every different personality under the sun. And if you are a fan of the extremely comically violent, bestial orcs that you see in Warhammer and Warhammer 40k, here's a hot take on them from Claire.
Wait, what? Oh, no. I mean, my hot take is just in general. Okay. I'll go into my orc thing, okay? I'll go into my orc thing. Maybe we'll cut this. Maybe we won't. We'll see. As a colonized person, if you didn't know, I'm part indigenous to New Zealand. To me, when you think about a football hooligan race who go around fighting and conquering land, I don't see them as, Mongolian or African. I think of the British. Imagine a fantasy world where actually, instead of being the PCs, the human PCs, that the, late medieval European types are actually orcs. Imagine that. I mean, it certainly feels like for indigenous people around the world who got utterly trodden into the ground by this marauding, raping and pillaging force, like, that could be a pretty accurate metaphor, no? So there's my hot take. Back to you, James.